Good afternoon, everybody. It's Stephen and Paul back for the daily brief for December 10th, 2010. Oh, before I forget, Paul, guess what I get to do this weekend?
What do you get to do this weekend, Hudson? Oh, you're upgrading your... I didn't think you were upgrading your machine's processor till next month.
No, this month. Yeah.
Awesome! So we may be able to render these episodes a little bit quicker. Or you may be able to render these episodes quicker.
My bud tells me I can pretty well almost cut it in a third. And if I upgrade the RAM next month, maybe I can cut it almost in half. So I'm looking forward to that idea. Now, the other thing we should note, too, just in case people wonder, YouTube removed the time limits for videos.
For WinExtra and for lots of users who haven't been violating their protocol but have been uploading content.
Now,
so Hodgson has some weird ideas about turning this into an ever-long bloody show.
Daily, hourly show. Just cranking out the hour-long show. No, I'm kidding.
Seriously, dude, there's some days go by we have trouble finding 10 minutes worth of Microsoft news a day.
Yeah. Needless to say, no, we won't be really extending the length of the show, but if we happen to go a little longer, we're not so worried about it now anymore, which is a good thing.
Exactly. So, Hudson won't be sending me messages through Skype while I'm ranting.
Yes, we'll just let Paul rant. Well, he might even have one today, or I might have one today, because one of these stories has got us both a little...
Yeah.
But we'll start off with... the Windows Phone 7 update schedule has been leaked.
Yeah, well, unsurprisingly, the first Windows Phone update is coming in January, as we have speculated and said. It's going to come at the 2011 CES show when Steve Ballmer does his keynote. And it's going to deliver copy and paste, as well as a whole bunch of other things that we've talked about already. Now, the second update to Windows Phone 7, which is bringing some pretty interesting stuff, is actually then going to happen on Monday, February the 14th, when Ballmer is giving another keynote, this time at the 2011 Mobile World Congress.
Does he work?
That is his work.
Oh, he just travels around the world on the expense account giving hour-long keynote speeches.
Yeah. Sure, why not? He's Ballmer. He's got more money than anything else. The interesting thing, though, is with regards to the February update, according to developer sources, we're going to see APIs opened up to implement third-party multitasking. So it's not just going to be Microsoft apps that can multitask anymore. We're going to see in-app downloads, better customization for end users. We're going to see other things as well, such as improvements on Silverlight, Flash, HTML5 support. No word yet about map support or tethering or memory card hot swapping. They may come. I would expect maps, at least, to definitely come. The other two, we might have to wait a little longer on, but we'll see. There's two updates in the line between now and February.
One other quick note about the February timeline for Windows Phone 7. Apparently, developers are going to be getting paid around that time.
Yeah, developers weren't supposed to get paid until the end of February, but now it looks like they're going to get paid actually in the 4th week of January. Yeah. So that's good news for people who are looking for a little bit of money in their pockets. Also, just again as another side note, a job posting on Microsoft. I'll just give you the quote. We are just putting the last touches on Office Mobile 2010 and Windows Phone 7. Blah, 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 blah. With Office 15 and Windows Phone 8 planning phase just getting underway, now is also the perfect time to join us and help shape the future of Office Mobile 15 on Windows Phone 8.
Yes.
So Microsoft is not only looking ahead to Windows Phone 8, they're already hiring developers for working on applications that will run on Phone 8. So that's very cool.
This next story, I have to say, okay, here's the headline, folks. We'll just start with the headline, and then we'll go from there. Windows Phone 7 sales and Microsoft's hopes are in free fall. Now, I want to say one thing right off the bat. Eric Sherman, you're an idiot. Okay? You are a moronic idiot.
Hod's not putting any today. All right. Basically, what's going on is because a number of retailers, Amazon, for example, happens to have 3 Windows Phone 7 devices on sale for £1. Carriers are discounting devices and etc., etc. And everybody seems to be ignoring the fact that it's the holiday season, and this is when carriers do major things to get people, because how the carriers make their money is by locking you in on these contracts that subsidized on these subsidized phones. So they can give you a phone for £1 because you're locked in for 2 years paying $60, $70 a month. So it's no problem to them. Now, according to Sherman and his logic, because this is happening to Windows Phone 7 devices, Windows Phone 7 must be falling and terrible and nobody wants it, etc., etc., blah, blah, blah. Bullcrap. So, considering he said there was 3 Windows Phone 7 devices on Amazon for £1, I went and I did a search for Android. Do you know what I found on my very first search result?
What?
4 Android devices for £1. 4 of them. And one of them is the Droid X. And this isn't to mention the fact now that, like, last week, my wife got a new Android phone and it cost her absolutely nothing. Just for renewing her contract with Sprint, she was given an Android phone. So, by Sherman's logic, Android is in trouble now, too.
Up here in Canada, I quick look, the only ones that are being given away for $0 on contracts are Android-based phones or standard feature phones.
Well, what is there now in the smartphone arena? You have Android, you have Windows Phone 7, and yes, there are other players, but what market share do we? Do we see Nokia with anybody in there? Do we see PAM OS, HP? No.
Yeah.
And it's not like Apple are going to turn around and say, it's okay, give our phones away.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
That'll never happen.
So the carriers do, what they can do to bring people in and lock them into long-term contracts, which means giving them away for nearly nothing. And, this is it's a bad thing when it's happening on Windows Phone 7, but it's happening on Android too. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad one. So, like I said at the beginning of this little piece, Eric Sherman, you're a frickin' moron, and you need to hand in your tech pundit card, you idiot. Anyway. Oh, speaking of how Android, gets being sold for $1, I guess, the fact that Android phone users want to have their phone look like the Phone 7 is another failure.
Yeah, there's a new app out for Android. It's called Windows Phone Android, which of course it would be called. And basically what it does is it skins your Android phone to look like Windows Phone 7. Now, of course, it lacks
live tiles.
Most live tiles, most of the functionality. It's not a substitute, but it's basically for those who have like penis envy when it comes to Windows Phone 7 and want theirs to look like it. Yeah. It's the equivalent of sticking, my other car is a Ferrari sticker on the back of your Lada. It's. But hey, if people want to do it, more power to them. Yeah. But obviously enough Android users, or at least one Android user / developer, has enough Windows Phone 7 envy that they've gone ahead and developed this app.
Yeah. So. The other bit of news that came out as far as Microsoft software is being the fact that IE9 is going to get built-in ad blocking, but they're referring to it as tracker protection.
Same difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is ad blocking. I mean, one of the big things that came about this, if I remember correctly, was there was a problem in Windows 8 when there was a bit of a schism between the marketing team and the developers and the privacy advocates, because some wanted to have ad blocking and stuff, but the marketing team were like, well, then how are we going to sell ads through the bloody thing?
Yeah.
But whereas they didn't entirely win their way in Windows 8, apparently, or sorry, in IE 8, apparently in IE 9, the developers and privacy advocates have won their way, and we're getting ad blocking.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is not going to be enabled by default, and they're basically leaving it in the hands of the user because they have divided into a blacklist and a whitelist.
And that is where it belongs, that it's in the hands of the user, because, you know, for example, if I'm visiting WinExtra, I want to see the ads. That's how we make money, you know?
Little bit.
If I'm visiting my friend's site, I want to see their ads. On the other hand, you know, if you're visiting a site that may be, for some reason or other, nefarious, you don't necessarily want to see the ads.
Yeah, you don't want.
Although then that raises the question as to why you're visiting nefarious sites.
Yeah. Anyway.
People do.
Yeah. The other thing, good news, I guess, that Microsoft can look forward to, and people are using it. This is an interesting one because one of the things they've been saying about Windows Phone 7 is that nobody's giving them numbers. We don't know how many is being sold, but at the same time, they're willing to give us all kinds of numbers for Xbox Connect.
Yeah, but before Phone 7 launched, Microsoft made the statement of numbers are not going to be released. I can't remember whether it was January or February of 2011 they said, but they did say when the earliest numbers would be released regardless of sales.
Yeah.
So this isn't something that they sort of went, oh, look at our sales, they're not too good, we better not announce our numbers. This was a premeditated decision before any phone was ever sold.
And actually some developers are liking that. Because what they're afraid of, and what I've read, is that if the numbers aren't good, it will dissuade developers from coming to the platform. So, yes, Microsoft, keep it quiet for now, and then...
You know what? Honestly, I think Microsoft should never release the numbers. There's enough independent marketing companies out there that will try to release the numbers based on sales and whatnot. Microsoft just shouldn't release the numbers because Microsoft is coming into a saturated market and they're trying to build for the long haul.
Yep.
They're never going to have the iPhone launch numbers that Apple had.
Nope.
And they just need to build their user base. Remember, as I said yesterday, Microsoft is a platform company. And, you know, we saw 120,000 users of the Department of Agriculture coming on board. A strong reason why they came on board with Microsoft and not anybody else was because of the phone involvement. Yeah. So, you know, there's going to be hundreds of thousands upon hundreds of thousands of phones out there already sold by Microsoft. Maybe not necessarily directly through the consumer, but they're going to start seeding the market. I think they should just keep shut up about it and just keep selling and improving.
Well, the
one and let market share do the talking when it eventually comes.
The one area where they aren't keeping quiet is for the Xbox 360. Apparently, it is outselling the Wii in November, and the PS3 is being booted back to third place.
Yeah, again, but these numbers aren't coming out of Microsoft. Again, these numbers are coming out independently. But yeah, this would make it the 6th month in a row that Xbox has topped the console wars, so to speak, in terms of sales. And the PS3 has dropped to third place. Not good news for Sony. But in November, Microsoft shipped 127 million units. Now, that's not... When did Kinect ship?
October?
No. Wasn't it last month? Kinect shifted? Have we become so jaded we can't remember these dates?
Probably.
Yeah, but anyway, 127 million units. So...
Yeah.
It's good news. They're top of the box, and they're going to stay that way, at least for the foreseeable future.
November 4th is when Kinect was launched. Yes.
Yeah, so, you know.
Speaking of
which is interesting, if you think about it, because they sold 1.37 million units of Xbox, but 2.5 million units of Kinect.
Nice. And speaking of Kinect, I love this one. Kinect has gotten its own set of wheels.
Yeah, this is a very, very cool autonomous robot. It's basically a laptop on what is like an RC car chassis. with Connect and Connect is basically being used for the navigation and obstacle avoidance and all that sort of stuff. Now, it's still quite slow, and it still has a few problems. For example, they don't have an odometer in it yet, so it's not exactly very good at telling how far it's traveled.
Yeah.
It is, which is important for its accuracy when it's driving and stuff. But it still does good obstacle avoidance, and it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till they make a larger version of this, and it starts talking to you, and all you hear is the kid voice. Oh, Michael.
Yes. So we're going to take you out of the show with this. We'll play it at the end of the show. But so that is basically that's today's show.
We will be back on Monday, and hopefully both of us will be feeling a lot better because we're both under the weather right now. So we're sorry if today has been kind of a low energy show. If you're watching us on YouTube, thumb us up, hit the subscribe button. If you're not, drop along to youtube.com/WinExtra and hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with what's going on. And between now and then, you'll find Hodson at WinExtra.com, me at PaulO'Flaherty.com. And as we said, we'll be back on Monday. Thanks for watching.
These two sick old men bid you adieu. Have a good weekend.